Hi, and welcome to OCC's Coastal Navigation class. I'm Bree, and I am going to talk to you guys today about Nav Tools and what you'll need for the class and the pros and cons of the different types. You don't have to get all of them. If you have some, use the ones you have. If you're looking to invest in some new or try something out that you haven't, this is a great opportunity too. So let's start by going over our Nav Tools. All right, let's get started. We have a lot on the course outline Nav Tool guide, but we're going to start with how we measure distance. And how we measure distance is by using dividers and compasses. So a pair of dividers you can use to measure a distance from point A to point B. Dividers have two pointy ends. This type of dividers hinges on a screw that you can tighten here to make it harder or looser, and you just pull and close together to get the dividers to move. You have the Wiesenplatte wheel types. The wheel types are great. They are pretty sturdy. Once you measure a certain distance, they hold their shape pretty well. Of course, if you hit it really hard, it will move. But if you set it down, write something, and then pick it back up, generally it will be the same distance that it was when you put it down. Also, the Wiesenplatte have interchangeable ends. So you could change out one of the pointy ends and put a pencil lead in. Now, the pencil end we use to describe an arc for a range of an LOP or visibility of a light, different things you can use to describe an arc, but that's just pointy end and a pencil end. Some people like to use the compass for Latin long, lots of different types to use it. So whatever your preference is for dividers or compass is fine. Okay, let's get into how to plot our courses and bearings. We have three types. We have a triangle, we have a roll plotter, and we have the parallel rulers. So we're going to start today with the roll plotter. Now I'm going to measure this ferry route here from Newport down to Avalon. And how you use the roll plotter is by pushing down gently on the end, and then you could parallel the course back and forth either way. It doesn't move left to right once you have pressure pushing down on it. So what you would do is line up the end, or I like to use the black line on the line in question, which is our ferry route. And then you're going to bring it down to the compass rose to read the course. So you just bring it down, and you can mark with a pencil, or you can read off what the course is. So pretty self-explanatory. I really like this one for beginners. The only tough part is if you happen to, say, measuring a course from Avalon down here, and you try to bring it back to the compass and you miss the compass, then you would have to get another straight edge or a ruler to move the parallel up to the compass, and then you could read it again. And even here, I missed the outside of the circle. So it can be a little frustrating to get used to it, but once you get used to it, it's a pretty useful tool. Next up is the parallel rulers. Now the parallel rulers, you can either have one with the lines on it or one that is clear. I prefer the one with the lines. Again, I like to look at the line to measure up something rather than the end, just because you have a little bit of thickness that can cause a little bit of refraction or parallax or whatever it is. So again, to measure this, we're paralleling this line to the compass rose in order to read the measurement. So I lined up my black line on the line in question, And then you do have to do this dance or the shift of pressure. I can put pressure on one ruler and then move the other ruler freely. So it allows us to walk the compass across. So I can put as further distance as possible, and then I can put pressure on this ruler, release pressure on the other one, and bring it back down. And then you put pressure on this ruler, and then you can read on the compass the course. So it is a little bit of coordination with the pressure on each ruler and how to move it. So that kind of creates a lot of room for jiggling or slipping and having to measure again and then walk and then measure and then walk. So it can be frustrating, but a lot of people have them, and if that's your thing, that's great. Okay. Lastly, I'm going to talk about my preference, which is the triangle. So the triangle is different because it doesn't use the compass rose to measure your course. It has the measurements already on the triangle. So all you have to use is a vertical line. Now it must be a vertical to due north, which happens to be the meridians on a Mercator projection chart. So our meridians happen every 10 minutes on this particular chart, but they happen more frequently than the compass roses. You'll have about 7 to 8 meridian lines and maybe 3 to 4 compasses. So they just happen more frequently, and it's the entire width of the chart that you can use it on, not just one particular spot. So in 75% of the time, you don't even have to move your triangle. So the problem of slipping or jiggling doesn't even come into play. Now what you do is put the end of your triangle on the long side. We always put the line that we are measuring on the long side of the triangle. I like to use the black line. So I'm going to put the line in question on the black line. Now the second step is to put this focal point. So that's where, use the focal point to a vertical line, a meridian. So I'm just going to move it over to the meridian. So I have my black line on the line in question, and I have my focal point on a meridian or a vertical line. And then all I do is read the compass down at the bottom here to find my course. So if I was going this direction, I would have 0, 5, 6. If I was going this direction, I would have 2, 3, 6. I like this a lot better because the separation of these little tiny lines are bigger than these, and it can be hard to read these little magenta lines sometimes. So I feel this is a little bit easier to read. If you do have to move it, typically it's when a line is close to vertical. You would move it using the short side of the triangle and a straight edge. So you can either use a second triangle. A lot of triangles are sold in pairs, or you can just use a ruler. So you could put your ruler up if we are measuring this line, and then you're just going to move it over to the vertical line. So that move is only about 2 to 3 inches, which is less room for jiggling than bringing it all the way back down to a compass rose. They are a little bit harder to grasp for a beginner. Just figuring out how to bring the focal point to a vertical line can be frustrating. But once you get it, you're not going to go back to any other way. So I like those ones, but again, this is my top pick. The roll plotter is my second, and the parallel is my third. You'll also need a basic calculator. A lot of people use their phones, and that's fine. And then sharp pencil, mechanical pencils are great, and a white eraser. If you use the pink eraser on the chart, your chart will turn pink. So that's about it on Nav Tools. I'm excited to teach this class online and see everybody soon. Thanks and stay safe. Have a great day.